Hey everyone, I'm Staff Sergeant Simmons. Welcome to this week's episode of the Warrior Wavelength. Something I want to address right off the bat for all those nitpickers out there who may be watching. It looks like maybe I didn't shave today. Well, that's true, I didn't. And it's because I'm on leave. Leave is a beautiful benefit to being a soldier in the United States Army. It allows me to not have to shave today.
This guy decided to come in on his day off for you.
To help you win every day. The United States Army Recruiting Command recently approved a couple of apps that you can download on your phone in order to help study for the ASVAB test. The ASVAB test is one of those things that you have to do in order to enlist or commission, and for a lot of people it's fairly difficult.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a lot of people throughout the time of, throughout my time in a recruiting station that just had a really difficult time. And the four things you need to study, main four things: word knowledge, paragraph comprehension, arithmetic reasoning, and math knowledge. Those are the four categories. The rest of them are icing on the cake. But these applications will definitely help you out. Definitely if you have a recruiting office nearby or you're working with a recruiter, you always have march2success.com, which is a self-paced tutoring program that basically takes what you know and creates a whole curriculum specifically designed for you. And it's not just for the ASVAB, it's for SATs, ACTs, MCTs, any standardized tests. So definitely take advantage of that.
So the apps that USAREC said you guys can go ahead and pass on to your prospective soldiers are the ASVAB Practice Test 2019, the ASVAB Practice for Dummies, not saying you're a dummy, and ASVAB Mastery, AFQT Practice. So those are all apps that you can download through either your Google Play Store or your Apple iStore, iPhone.
Something like that. You may have noticed our centerpiece.
Oh, yes.
Which is a beautiful pair of AirPods. Seem to be the hot new thing if you use an iPhone. You can get these for free if you text AC05.
That's AC05.
Not 0. 05 to Go Army, which is 462-769. Fill out the form and you will be entered in our drawing to be the winner for these AirPods.
For this register to win, the legal excerpt must be 17 to 34 to enter. USAREC soldiers, civilian employees, and their immediate family members may not enter. No AirPods for you or me.
Shucks.
Winner must show proof of age, so that is a birth certificate, more than likely. The drawing will be open until give or take September 21st, 22nd time frame, at which point everybody who has entered for a chance to win these AirPods, we will randomly pick the winner for them. We will contact you, whether it's social media or telephone or email, and we'll let you know that you won. We'll find out where we need to get them sent to, and we will make sure that you get them.
To clarify, you also have to go to Go Army Virginia on Instagram. That's at Go Army Virginia, to like the post and follow us, in addition to filling out the form. Which leads me also to say, make sure you follow us on Facebook, Go Army Virginia. That's facebook.com/Go Army Virginia. Go Army Virginia on Instagram, and Warrior Wavelength on YouTube.
Hey, Sergeant Cordima.
Yes.
What are today's phonetic letters?
The phonetic letters today are, we decided to do two.
Two.
It's a twofer. R and J. Now you might ask, why R and J?
Why? R and J, Sergeant Cordima.
We have to ask our friend Shakespeare. Romeo and Juliet. So romantic. Somehow, and I never realized this until today, I did not realize that R and J were Romeo and Juliet. But since we do a fact with all of our letters, we decided to read the epitaph of William Shakespeare.
So William Shakespeare actually wrote this before he died, and he had it engraved on his tombstone as a curse to anyone who may want to defile his tomb. How's it go, Sergeant Cordima?
If I had glasses, I'd put them on. Good friend, for Jesus' sake forbear to dig the dust enclosed here. Blessed be the man that spares these stones, and cursed be he that moves my bones.
Ooh, that's heartfelt.
That's metal.
I think that's a pretty cool thing to have engraved on your tombstone. Leave it to the some consider the greatest dramatization
Playwright.
ever in some arguments to think of something awesome like that to put on the gravestone.
That was pretty epic. Now I have to step up my epitaph writing game.
So remember, Romeo and Juliet, phonetic letters.
Sergeant Simmons, I understand that you are switching your job.
Yeah, fun, exciting.
One of the biggest questions we get asked as recruiters is, can I change my job after I get in the Army? And the answer is yes. There is always a process and procedure to get through, but it's definitely possible. And you were, what was your MOS before?
I was 11 Bravo Infantry.
How long did you do that?
Oh, goodness. Well, it'll be a full 12 years as an infantry soldier. And then recently I was selected to reclassify to the MOS 51 Charlie, which is contracting non-commissioned officer. So that is a job within the Army that you can't enlist directly into. You can only apply and hope that you're selected. The NCOs within that profession, they do a lot of legal work in terms of the Army as a big organization and how they contract services from outside sources. It's going to be an amazing way to finish out my military career, I think.
It's great opportunities. And there's a lot of different jobs like that in the Army where you have to apply, but it's definitely worth the shot.
The Army, being as that it is the largest branch of the military, it really allows the soldiers to control their own career. More so, I think, than, at least in my knowledge, the other branches do. What you can do with your career in the Army is only limited by your imagination. You can start as one job, do a term, do 2 terms, do 12 years, then change your job. You can start enlisted and let the Army pay for your degree in college and then become an officer. You can start enlisted and become a warrant officer. There's almost nothing that you can't do with your career.
Yeah. And that puts more on your resume too by the end of the day.
Absolutely.
So your job prospects when you get out of the Army are way higher.
The Army's all about building depth. They want leaders who, have experience in multiple things. I like the Army. Maybe I'll stay in a couple more years.
One place that you can look for a job, if you are currently looking for a job and you are interested in joining the United States Army, or at least getting information to join the United States Army, is our Indeed, which if you are watching this on YouTube, it's in the link is in the description below. So go ahead, if you're watching this on Facebook, look us up on Warrior Wavelength on YouTube, and you will find our link in the description. There are several different reserve jobs that are posted there, and a recruiter from whatever zip code that you live in will contact you, and we'll make sure that happens. So if you are looking for a career or information for a career, go ahead and use that resource for sure.
Or even just a first step. Some people think you got to stay in the Army forever once you join, when the reality of it is you can join the Army for 3 years and then get out. But from that point on, for the rest of your life, you're a veteran.
I've had soldiers that have spent 2 or 3 years in the Army and make more money than I do now. From the experience and the certifications that they've gotten with their military service.
Some people think, that the Army is gonna set them back when compared to their peers, or the individuals who graduated around the same time or whatever, when the reality of it is you're actually becoming more experienced in something that very few people in America ever do in their life.
Less than 1%.
That's a staggering number. 1% of America? I mean, how many millions of people we got here? Not even a clue. I'm not even going to guess.
I think it's like 300 million.
300 million.
If I'm...
I know New York itself has like 1 million.
At least, yeah.
In 5 square blocks. Insanity. 1%. You can be that 1%.
When?
Every day. Something that, I don't know, maybe some people will have an opportunity to go to is the Oceana Air Show, occurring out near Virginia Beach, September 21st and 22nd. It's going to be a huge event.
I believe the Black Daggers are going to be there.
Oh, yeah. What are the Black Daggers, did you ask? We got you. Isn't it one of the Army's parachute teams?
Yep, they are the Special Forces Free Fall Parachute Team.
Woo! So yeah, they are enlisted soldiers or commissioned officers who the Army has deemed their sole job is to jump into shows from a plane.
That would be pretty awesome.
Like, that's your job.
Not gonna lie, I'm not a big fan of heights, but I would do it for a paycheck.
I can't even imagine having, like, that's your place of duty, or like the people who get the Army sports teams.
Yeah.
All you do
is
play soccer for the Army, or you're a track and field specialist for the Army.
So many opportunities.
Yeah, like I said, the only thing holding you back in your Army career is you. But I think that's pretty much all we have for today, for this episode. You can definitely subscribe. You can click the little bell down there on our YouTube channel and get alerted whenever we put out a new video. Follow us at Go Army Virginia and at Go Army West Virginia. Facebook, Instagram. That's all I got. As usual, I'm Staff Sergeant Simmons.
I'm Staff Sergeant Cordima.
Win every day.
To the top.